If you're in the market to buy or sell a home in 2026, there's a ton of misinformation everywhere. Nobody knows what to do, nobody knows what's going on. There's fear mindset, there's an abundance mindset, and there's a lot of confusion going on. This video is from an agent who's in the business every single day in 2026, and this is a transparent Q&A about what actually is going on in real estate right now. I'm specifically in the West Valley, Los Angeles area, all the way to Ventura County, Ventura, California. So all in Southern California, this is what I'm seeing. These questions will be jumping around a little bit, but there are a lot of the heaviest hitting questions to answer the overarching question of what is going on in the real estate market today and what should you do. One way you can add the most value to your home with literally no money spent is to just depersonalize your home. A lot of the times you have a buyer who walks into a home and this home is very personalized to that seller. It shows their lifestyle, it shows their taste, their art. At the end of the day, what a buyer wants is to walk into a home and be able to envision that for themselves. And if you create a clean canvas and you depersonalize the home, you've now increased the value of spending literally $0. A lot of the times when you put an offer on a home, you find out another buyer also wants to get that home, so you end up in a bidding war. One of the tactics I like using is actually getting to know what that seller is looking for outside of the price. If you could find out if there's other factors in this seller situation, such as they need a quick close, they need to get out of this house as soon as possible, or maybe they need to stay a little bit longer and they haven't found their next place yet, and you could do something like a rent back. So there's options if you can identify what is the seller's situation outside of just cash, what do they need to make this a smooth transaction, then you could probably find yourself an even better deal. A mistake that sellers often make that costs them money is simply thinking their house is going to sell itself. A lot of the times there's a little bit of overconfidence when you're selling your house, and sometimes it's rightfully so. A lot of the times these sellers have an amazing house and they know they do. So because of that, they price it a little bit high, and maybe they go a little bit lighter on their marketing strategy because they figure my house might not need the same marketing that a house that doesn't look as nice needs. The problem with this is at the end of the day, your goal is to create as much traction as possible on that home as quickly as possible. And we know through data that creates your biggest selling price. A lot of people identify asking price with selling price. That's not necessarily true. So if you have an asking price that is appealing to buyers right now, and you have a great marketing plan, and you have a great house, now you just created the perfect recipe to get as much money for your house as possible versus overpricing it and it's sitting a long time and buyers are getting scared and buyers are wondering why there's so many days on market. They think it's overpriced, then they're gonna try to undercut you. So I think it's a simple formula: price where it should be, have a great marketing plan, and a great house will get even higher price point. The biggest thing I wish that every buyer knew before their first showing is to go in with the expectations that you are not going to find the perfect house. You're probably not even going to find the house that you envision yourself in before you get boots on the ground and start looking at houses. What you'll find really quickly is that none of these houses are going to be perfect. And sometimes it takes a few houses to go tour, and sometimes it takes 10 to realize this, is that you are not going to find the perfect house. But what you can find is a house in a great location that checks off all of your needs, that hits all of your biggest boxes, and even hits some of your wants. And a lot of the times, if you get to the place where that house is checking 8 out of your 10 boxes, in my experience, that's a winner. That's a house you should jump on. If you have that expectations of perfection, just like anything else in life, you tend to sell yourself short. If you're under 30 in Southern California, the narrative right now is that you will never buy a house. The narrative is that you have to move out of state. This simply is not true. There's a few different strategies you can use in order to actually buy your first house under 30 years old. Obviously, your first step towards doing this is building a little bit of a down payment. So we have condos in my area that I work in, let's say the West Valley area, for example, Encino, Woodland Hills, Tarzana. These are sought after areas with a lot of shopping near Ventura Boulevard. These are nice areas. You can get a condo for example, $350,000, a single bedroom condo. It's not going to be a 3,000 foot mansion, but you can get your hands on your first house with equity that's appreciating in a nice area for $350,000. From there, you want to save up 10 to 20% for your down payment. So let's say anywhere from 30 to 80 grand for your down payment. And then as soon as you're able to actually buy the home and you save that down payment, you should be at a level where your income is high enough while you were saving that money to go in for that condo. You buy the condo, now you have a couple options. You can either keep it, live in it, which is great, and then if you want to buy a bigger place, sell it after it appreciates in 5-7 years. If you want to save even more money, you can do something called a house hack, where let's say you buy a 2-bedroom condo, you live in one of the rooms, and you have somebody else live in another room, which you rent out to them, you offset some of your costs. And then from there, you either have a house that you can live in long term, you can leave it and you can rent out the condo, buy another place, you can sell it and now take the appreciation you gained over the next 5-7 years, and you could put it towards your next house, which now you can finally have that house that you wanted, a little bit bigger, a little bit more space, single family. So if you're under 30 years old, you have plenty of options to find your first house. You just have to be creative, and you just have to work with people who can get the job done.